All right, let's get it cracking. Hello, and welcome to Paradise Lost. Huh. Or should I say, a little slice of paradise.
Ooh.
Because this is a recap series.
You should, because
3.5 hours is a long time. So we're just gonna, jumble it down. Nice 15 to 30 minute segments. Nice and easy for the consumer, right? We think of you. We do it for the streets. We do it for you.
Yep.
Today, we're continuing the recap series as we are on episode 19, A Curious Heist. And my God, what a curious heist that was.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, let's just dive right in, guys. Let's just...
Why don't we?
See?
Let's dive.
Why not?
Yep. You.
I like that reference. And away we go. The defenders of Okul made their way back into the city of Valakai to send a responding letter to Strahd in regards to his dinner invitation, a letter which took more than 35 minutes to draft.
Correct.
And then travel to the sending area.
Yeah.
But it was a good letter at the end.
Right.
And that's what matters.
What did it say? Do we have the?
It's good. I think it goes.
Okay,
We're
good.
gonna hold your horses, pal. We're gonna get there.
You're always jumping ahead.
He gets so excited.
But first, they went back to the Blue Water Inn to see their friends, Erwin and Danica Mordekov. While also having some wolf steaks, of course. We know
Yes,
this.
we
You
As
can't
per
go to
usual.
the Blue Water Inn. You can't go to the Bluefish without
Yeah.
The
wolf
Bluefish,
steak.
yeah.
You know
The
this.
Bluefish.
Excited to see one another, Erwin filled in the group on how the Festival of the Sun had gone, which was terrible.
Very
oh
bad.
my God. Yeah.
Sorry, we couldn't stick around.
Yeah, literally the best thing we've ever missed, honestly.
Correct.
What a bullet we dodged. But, because, when riding into light the beacon of hope, in the center of Valakai, the Burgomaster's torch was extinguished by the rain. Because it was the Festival of the Sun, torch, running it, Olympic style.
This is the best note in the book.
But rain. And that's there's no rolling that needed
No,
to be done.
it's
It just was
if you guys are,
it's gonna rain on your parade.
It's like this is what happens at the festival. It starts raining. The Burgomaster gets mad as his fire is extinguished.
Fire is extinguished by the rain, and a guard starts laughing. And now he is likely being punished somewhere. We found out his name, right?
I think it goes into it.
Either way. That's my point. It scrolled up.
They really do be like that.
They do really,
It really do be like
do.
that.
It really do.
That's
But he's, the guard that laughed, he's likely being punished somewhere. Meanwhile, the half-elven gentleman staying at the inn, Rictavio, who owned some kind of carnival, had his pet tiger get out of his cage.
Yep.
He had a big old saber-tooth tiger, or some variant of a tiger, in a cage. It got out. Still was loose at the time that we learned about the disaster of the festival.
Correct.
So,
Why'd
great
they let
stuff.
this fucking idiot in?
Here's the thing. That little side arc, no idea.
They were so annoyed at us.
They-
this guy's got a tiger.
Right.
Mysterious chest full of goodies.
Yes.
Come on in, Rictavio.
So the thing with
we couldn't even get through the front gate.
What a cool guy.
Yeah.
the thing with Rictavio though is there's actually a ton of stuff with this guy that could have gone into that does not happen in our campaign. The only thing that is discussed with it is the fact that you met him one evening and then immediately stole from him his box
Yeah.
of
yes.
goodies.
He didn't know.
And then he apparently had a tiger with him as he was a
Oh,
proprietor
yeah, as
for
you
a
were in
carnival.
that thing, yeah.
And the box wasn't even in the tiger cage, which is weird. Now we understand that the tiger was for show and not for defending said box.
Yeah.
But weird stuff.
There's a lot of info about it, but it really is a random circumstance with it.
We're gonna have our own separate podcast.
Yeah, we'll
on
do
the
another-
history
we'll do
of
another one.
Rictavio.
It'll
It'll be
be-
Carnival of Wonders.
it'll be-
Rictavio talk.
Episode.
I love that. But by the time we get there, the tiger is still loose, and everyone in Valakai is told to remain inside as the guards are still trying to find and corral it. There is also some talk of people upset and wanting to riot against the Burgomaster, as the mantra of all will be well has lost its luster.
Hell yeah.
Which, when Rictavio gets involved, all will not be well.
Always, of course.
We know this.
Nothing's
I
well.
know this.
Following this, the group had some info for Erwin, mainly let him know that they knew the Mordekov family secret. Introduced in quite the spectacular way, a show of tiny minor illusion ravens with top hats, canes, and monocles too.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And monocles too. We're
Sounds
just
right.
we know your secret. We know your secret. Meanwhile, subtlety was, the name of the game for
Yeah.
Erwin and Danica.
Luckily, the inn was empty of proprietors.
But he did panic. He had a panic attack for those 30 seconds. That
Right.
Andre and Steven mostly.
But for why? Why would anyone suspect they were ravens? Right?
I mean, it would just be an odd
they did
circumstance.
have feathers
to see.
in their hair, and then the Mordecai's,
That's not part of the fucking lore.
That's so part of it. That's so part of it. Are you kidding me?
That's not part of the lore.
It's too perfect. How is it not? DM. Tell me I'm right.
I don't know.
It's not on the
That's
nose
it.
enough to be in the book.
To the natural 20s I hit.
No.
Damn right it does.
If I roll one, I'm
He
doing a
said
20.
yes.
I'm doing at least. Nope, 2.
So,
Yeah,
following the we know your secret, we know what you did.
it's true.
Our heroes left their letter for Strahd with Erwin so that he could find a courier for them while they prepare for the next journey.
And that's the end of the nightly news. News, weather, and sports. I'm Chance Cumulus. Signing off.
Cumulus. I love that.
It's not mine. I stole it.
Oh. Anyways, Timothy propelled the discussion regarding the potential of stealing an item back from the burgomaster. We all were in agreement. This box was the most important thing in this town.
Yep.
In all of Barovia, probably.
Sure.
I mean, we all knew it was part of the prophecy.
All
Prophecy.
in
Prophecy.
agreement.
The
Oh,
box.
you know that's a sensitive moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Shut up. He didn't say prophecy. Sorry, Brennan.
Hey, it's okay.
What's next?
Scrolled up again.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
But after we all were in agreement that the box was the most important thing ever,
Nobody agreed to that.
well, it actually says the group was into it and began
yeah, we were
plotting their
into
way
it. I
in.
didn't agree that it was the most important thing.
Yeah, you guys ironic, like, he
said sure,
he-
we can go get it.
I think just the idea of doing something like just stealing from the burgomaster really tickled you guys'
That's
fancy.
probably it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think
tickle.
anyone inquired about, hey, what's in the box again? You guys were kind of just like, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It was
What-
less
what do we
about
need
the
to do?
box and
More about the
of
Burgermeister.
the loss. you know?
Burgo.
Burger King.
Burger Man.
I always
Sponsored.
mess up his name.
Burgermeister.
He's a weird. I mean, Burger Master.
Burger
It's
Nice.
literally just Burgermaster.
Steven.
Burgermaster.
Burgermeister.
Burgermeister. See, fuck
the
you.
Burger Maestro. Maestro.
Correct.
Maestro.
Steven, however, did not care for the plan at all because he already was put into a donkey prison prior our first visit here.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really super upbeat about immediately breaking crimes the second we're back into the city. So he stayed behind. Cooked wolf
Coward.
steaks with Erwin.
Oh, there you go.
Learned the secret recipe. That's canon. Yes, sir. It says right here in all italics.
Wow, he did.
In all italics.
Amazing.
Look, Steven is a master of only a few things, and one of them is that
His
he was
wolf
taught
steaks.
how to cook wolf steaks.
Nice.
Probably the
it.
most prominent thing. in his
It is,
repertoire,
really.
To be honest.
It's his most useful.
Oh yeah. At will? Are you kidding me?
At will, wolf steaks.
No
at will.
components?
Right? Yeah, no components.
There's a few components.
Wolf steak.
Nereza and Lord Farquaad, though, they were on Distraction Team Delta Zero Alpha
Oh, that was good.
squad. While Andre and Timothy,
We went in.
we were on the
Yeah.
looting team. Nereza would cast Pass Without a Trace on Andre. Thank you for that, by the way. And Timothy to help them be more stealthy. That's a plus 10, baby.
Hell yeah.
And we're invisible.
That was, yeah.
Hell yeah.
My hands were on your ass, Andre.
Thank you, sir.
You have to understand this.
Loved that moment for all of us.
Absolutely.
Never forget it.
Never forget.
But we got invisible. My hands were on Andre's ass. And Nereza would go to the main entrance of the mansion and tell the guards that the loose tiger was spotted. Please open up. Get the Burgomeister. The Burger Maestro. The proof of this would be through Lord Farquaad, who shifted into a form of the large tiger. I forgot about that.
Yep.
We had Lord Farquaad
This was actually
tiger.
this was actually one of like the best plans you guys ever
It was
executed.
amazing.
It was really
Yeah.
good.
Right.
We're geniuses.
You're geniuses, yeah.
Especially with part of the plan, Steven staying home.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's why it went so well.
The best one yet.
Is there correlation?
There has to be something. We'll,
No, he
we'll
was
do the
smart to
math.
stay home because he was a wanted man, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he was very into. He did not want to be.
But, and then, Farquaad came out of the shadows as the tiger. The guard said, "Stop, thief," and chased him.
Yep. They chased after.
It would
for a
chase the
little bit.
tiger, leaving Nereza a moment to knock on the door and get someone to open it again. Desperately long enough for Andre and Timothy to slip inside unseen. She did so good during that because she was like, "Oh, hello," and like whipped the door open
Yep.
for our two invisible hand to ass recon team to go in, up,
Your
and enemy
hands, my
lines.
ass.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah, I get it. I get the mechanics of it all.
I'm picking up what
Surprisingly,
you're putting down.
but not so surprisingly, the plan worked. And the looting squad had made it in. Bingo. Bonza. You ripper. They were unable to cast spells though, because we're invisible.
Yeah.
And anything we do ever makes you invisible. You know this. Read the player's handbook, it's there.
Read it.
Read it.
Don't even get me started. But they split up to look for the box. I went right, you went left, right?
I don't remember.
Opposite, I think.
Nah. Left, right.
So close.
One time I'll get it.
Seems right.
Sorry, I need to stop looking from the screen because I'm illiterate.
I go right. That's how it is.
That's all good.
The way Andre went, really great. He went to the large office space with many bookshelves and books behind a grandiose desk and chair. While invisible and searching through the room, this has to be the room, right? I mean, obviously, look how grandiose it
It's
is.
huge.
Yeah.
You know this.
It's a big old office.
Andre found himself trapped inside the room with the burgomaster and his 2 pet mastiffs. Yep. Just chilling there, invisible,
Just vibing.
watching, waiting.
Commiserating.
And then he just kind of plops onto his chair. That's where he sat forever.
Did not move.
Yeah.
Just
Continued his
standing
work,
there.
leaving Andre unseen, luckily. Some dogs were
Yeah.
sniffing, but, you know, Andre smells like
I'm
roses.
just hanging out in the room.
Just hanging out in the room, standing there.
Come back to me.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Timothy moved from room to room, assessing the contents of each room, making sure to take one thing from each chamber. I took some towels.
Yep.
I took some...
I think the towels were the main thing.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
were very,
I knew
very
that you
soft.
I knew that you were trying to take one thing from each room. The second room ended up being a pretty big thing.
The
you were
first
trying to
room,
take.
bathroom, took the towels, naturally. Second room seemed to be a nice dressing area with a beautiful wedding dress on a wooden mannequin, which was weird.
Yep.
As
Oh,
well
yeah,
as
we never really
hand
talked
mirrors
about that, huh?
and
Sorry.
a large wall mirror hanging by.
Yep.
Inspired, Timothy decided to steal the large mirror, which had beautiful ornate carvings and decoration to it, because naturally,
Naturally.
It was gorgeous. Also
it
really
was
big.
so easy for me, right? I was like, I had the whip that Steven gave me.
Oh,
Used it
that's
to lasso
right,
it onto my
yeah.
shoulders.
Turned it invisible
Yeah,
with you.
he made me
Yeah.
roll like 3 dexterity checks with disadvantage, and I said
Yeah.
18, 16, 17.
because there just kept being more stuff that you were trying to
You
do.
were like,
Yeah.
really? And I was like,
Hell yeah.
and everything
yeah.
worked. It was meant to be, right?
everything
just
worked.
for this
If it's
just for this
meant-
garbage
Exactly.
mirror.
And continuing on, Timothy's still doing shit without his friends.
Yeah.
Timothy then found himself in the attic of the mansion, which was filled with covered furniture and oddities throughout. Through the door to the chamber was at the opposite end. Weird, sorry, I'm illiterate.
It's all
He moved quietly to the door and found that the visage of a large skull was carved into the wood of the door.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get in there.
So I haven't
directly in there.
I didn't want to. Everyone said you're in too deep. So I had to go.
Oh, blame the rest of them.
I blame the rest of
sure.
them. I tried to be the voice of reason,
Sure.
but
Since
on the
when have you
door-
ever tried to be a voice of reason?
Okay, here I am.
Kiana's watching someone make a quesadilla. On her
Yeah,
phone.
it's really good.
Why are you even here? Watching
I want to know that.
fucking.
Can you book me that? Send that to me.
It's steak.
Oh, it's the wolf steaks. That's
All right, it's lore friendly. Go on.
Oh, thank God.
What very interesting thing lie behind the door after what
Well, the
happened?
door
See, we were going and you interrupted.
Yeah. No.
in blood was written, "All is not well" on the door.
Dude, I
With
Nothing
the
interesting
skull.
about that.
did
Right.
that.
So
Nothing interesting.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Let's not explore it any further.
Interesting.
Well, here's the thing. I did. I was like, cool, and I opened it. And you know what happened?
Checks
I
out.
exploded. Lightning. He said, make a dexterity saving throw. I'm like, never mind, I shut it. He goes, it's too late.
Yeah.
I did say that. I did
Terrible.
say it's too late.
But before that, I could
Like, just
faintly
kidding.
hear some form of spell casting behind the door, but it sounded like,
Yeah,
so I
you couldn't
couldn't
make out,
really
yeah.
make it out, you know? And as soon as I opened the door slowly, bam, the skull illuminated bright blue and exploded with lightning energy directly into Timothy. Timothy was thrown onto his back as per usual and lost concentration on the invisibility spell.
Yep.
That was cast on me and Andre.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's
So
when we
here I
did.
am losing invisibility. Meanwhile, he's in there.
We had not come back to Andre at the moment, so I was giving some grace in the fact that invisibility was just lost, and came back to you and was like, "If there's something was there anything you wanted to do during this kind of a?" It seems like you have a limited amount of time.
Just so you know, you stay here, you die.
Right.
Yep.
But so Andre knew that time was of the essence and was still trying to find a way out of the Burgomaster's office. In a grand display of illusionary magic, Andre moved to the door while still invisible.
It's the best plan. ever.
Andre Andraste, master illusionist. He walks to the door.
Yep.
And closes it. Master illusionist. He has a spell called Phantasmal Killer,
It's useless.
and he walks
It's
away.
useless.
The thing with Colton is that he's a great illusionist in real life, so he doesn't need the magic in the game. It was actually like a fantastic plan. I didn't even
yeah.
make you roll for anything.
No, because it was brilliant.
It was so good.
Knock, knock, knock. Come in, but
Yeah.
the knocks are coming from inside the room. He wouldn't know that. And then the door opens.
He got confused, started looking
I'm already
around.
gone.
Yeah.
I'm already gone.
Right.
It's too late.
Already gone.
Too late.
That's
So
the
he-
perfect plan.
Books it.
It was
Just
It's a
an
really
absolute
good plan.
master illusionist.
Yeah.
Thank God. If I wasn't invisible, I still would have done that, though.
Right. And it still would have worked because you're a legend. And
Yeah.
you know
he
this.
is. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Probably not.
But then you booked it out of the mansion.
I did.
And invisibility just ran out
about
right as
it?
you walked out.
How about it?
How about that, master illusionist?
How about that?
how about that?
Back to Timmy. He's on his back. Fucked
As
up.
per usual.
Yeah, as per usual. Stood back up in the doorway, realized my friends can't save me here. He could see multiple cats coming towards him. But each one of these portions of their skeletal frame was showing under the fur. Imagine
He's so mad the whole time.
imagine a sock full of like nails, right? To where like the skin, like it was weird skeletal popping out. It wasn't fitted.
Yeah,
It was gross. I didn't like that.
nothing interesting.
So I yell, "I've come to free you," and then run away.
Very
Master-
similar to my plan.
Master illusionist. I'm the master thief, right? Before quickly turning himself invisible once again.
Yep.
You know, because I can do. Luckily, you know, I lose his concentration on the invisibility, but I can just cast it on myself again, easy peasy.
Right, yes.
So I did that. I ran away, hid amongst the furniture, and then I saw a confused teenage boy in the doorway, looking around
Yeah.
and then closing the door.
Stop encouraging him.
Uncertain
He's
what
already
happened.
mad about it.
Very
And I was like, phew, bullet dodged. Don't want to interact with that person ever again. Counted my lucky stars and went back downstairs. Grabbed my things, the massive mirror, which I could put down, by the way. Crazy. I was really set on carrying on my shoulders the entire time. Going up to the attic would have been tough. But, you know, grabbed the things, the box, the massive mirror. Oh, no. Grabbed my things, the massive mirror, and continued searching for the box.
Yeah, which we
Eventually,
still haven't found.
right.
Yeah, the whole point.
The whole point, still haven't found the box.
Right.
Found death and mirrors. So, eventually, he found a small chamber that had a box of vampire hunting equipment, as well as a man shackled
Oh,
within.
yeah.
The man's name was Udo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Udo. And he explained that he had insulted the Burgomaster during a recent festival. Probably during the torch scene. While I was drizzling.
It was him.
Catch my drink.
We're drifting.
We're
drifting.
We're drifting.
Timothy, unsure how to break the shackles. I tried really hard. I put my all into getting Odo out. God bless his soul. I took all the contents from the box and made my way out of the mansion.
Yep.
Leaving Odo behind.
You promised him.
Oh, yeah.
I will be back for you.
I looked Odo dead in the eye, said, "Don't lose hope because I'm coming back." And I never returned. And he's still
To this day,
Shackled there,
still
to this
shackled.
day.
not losing hope.
to the day.
Yeah. No,
He
he's
said he would come back.
Yeah.
We went the complete opposite
We
way.
need a return of Odo. Udo, I mean.
Do we? Because we didn't help him. So maybe it's best if
definitely dead.
you think.
It's all up in the air.
The Burgermeister's dead, so.
Spoiler
Oh
alert.
yeah.
Wow.
Maybe they just let him go then.
So, Pretty rude of you.
Sorry.
He hasn't been here.
During the heist, Steven spent some much needed resting time with Erwin, learning how to cook. Steven also took the time to write a letter to an old friend that he referred to as Buddy Boy Boo.
That's all
He
I call
spoke
him.
of hoping to see him again sometime soon so that he could meet Steven's new friends and potentially run it back. Okay?
Quote.
Yep.
Steven asked Erwin to hold on to the letter and send it to an individual in Rauda. That really narrows it down. Erwin promised to do so, and as soon as the fog is lifted with Strahd's... Erwin promised to do so once the...
Once the fog was lifted.
Right. So yeah, go kill this tyrant. I may send your letter, you pleb.
Well, so because I don't think Ricky wanted to expose too much during it, so that's why it was still like he told Erwin specifics on where they go for it, but in game, he was just like, I think during the game he was just like, and I just tell him who I need to send it to.
Smart.
I knew,
Yeah,
but he couldn't. Erwin can't leave either. So
exactly. Weak boy.
weak boy, apparently.
So the letter got sent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean.
Yeah, as soon as the fog is lifted with Strahd's death, it would allow Erwin to fly it to his destination. Oh, yeah, fly because he's a Raven.
Steven
I'll
did
fly it
get
myself.
another. Steven did get a leather back later on.
Did. Right.
No.
Oh, so many
Spoiler
plot
alert.
holes. God, not there yet. It's on season 2. The party reconvened at the Blue Water Inn, unsure of the spoils gained, and questioning why exactly they
Oh,
did
God.
any of that.
Yeah, I'm wondering too.
Most interestingly was the mirror that Timothy managed to steal. Upon further inspection, Andre realized that it is enchanted with some sort of sinister magic.
It's very sinister.
It's pretty sinister.
A mirror was taken for the goofs, and it turns out that in the mirror was a soul of an assassin bound to it.
Yep.
And upon casting Identify, we learned the phrase, and using that phrase would send him to assassinate someone.
Yep, you'd say the phrase and then indicate the target. The most, just literally no way that you guys
Right.
would have gotten this, and yet you did.
Like, I've never looked at a mirror and be like,
That has
pub-
an assassin.
that's probably assassin
that's
mirror.
magical.
That's assassin mirror if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely.
So the spoils were good, and no one ever questioned Timothy's resolve again.
Yeah, as you got garlic cloves and a healer's kit
Oh,
from the
and I
box.
distributed steaks, healer's kit. Beautiful. What a support. Who is this guy? Beginning to head back to the Vistani camp, Andre created a shelter to rest in with Lehman's tiny hut, or Andre's tiny hut, as we prefer to call it. Before heading the rest, the group contemplated once again whether or not to utilize the mirror.
Lehman created it.
Well, we had our own
It
hut.
was, but
we
if
stay in
I
it.
cast a spell, it was my
It's your head.
It was your hut.
because I get to decide. So
So there we were, in Andre's tiny hut,
Yes.
with a mirror.
Uh-huh.
And we thought to ourselves, what are we going to do with it? We tried out the phrase, let it run out, no target chosen. What are we going to do? Who's the wisest person in our group to ask? The person with morality.
Correct.
with restraint.
With restraint.
With
So they
forethought.
asked-
Without grudges.
Yes.
So they asked Stephen B. Fissler to take full control of the assassin mirror.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Stephen B. Fissler activated the magical chant, and the name he wanted assassinated was Alexei, the poor whipped boy who also got his tent set on fire for no reason.
You just ruined his
A miserable
life.
existence.
Ruined his life.
fault.
He died tied to a pole. You have to understand this.
No, he got out.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because
Sick.
I made him.
Oh, well, good for
go.
him. It's good then. No, not
He
bad.
was. I think it was that they kept him bound there, but they stopped whipping him. Was what you managed to get
okay.
because you tried that,
Okay.
but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Better than continuous whipping, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I guess it's a step in the right direction, I suppose.
Well, not anymore because
Well,
he's dead.
Not anymore.
I don't know.
And then, Timothy made it invisible to keep our tracks away.
Yep.
And then it popped out of invisibility, murdered Alexei
true.
with all the rage in Rauda, all of it centered, pinpointed right there, and then disappeared.
Yep.
And naturally, Luvash lost his shit. And a lot of other Vistani started losing their shit too. It vanished, and unsure what to do next, the next person to approach... Oh, wait. I already read this. But the assassin came, murdered. We heard screaming, because they kind of weren't there to see, but it sounded like Alexei's scream because he was being whipped mere hours earlier. So we're like,
knew the
these screams of agony sound familiar.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Luvash, because we came to him, we're like, Luvash, what happened? Oh, gee golly gosh, what? Oh, what
Gee golly
happened to
gosh.
Alexei? Luvash detailed how a man suddenly appeared with a blade in the back of tied up Alexei, stabbing him multiple times before vanishing into the air. Groups of men and women were being sent to scour the area for his murderer, speaking with Aragal amidst the commotion. The plan was still set for Aragal, Casimir, and the party to meet up in the morning and journey towards Mount Kakis.
Yes.
Khakis!
Aragal would now be staying up with Luvash to hunt for this assassin, this ne'er-do-well who dared attack Alexei.
Yep. Who's
and,
definitely out there.
and Steve.
Somewhere.
Well, I won't say that yet. I'll wait till. Yeah. Casimir offered for the group to stay in his hovel since there was now a murder on the loose.
Correct.
So Casimir was like, let's get you fine kids safe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or keep
No
you safe.
Thinking of us.
Pass.
Before going back to
We're
the group.
safe. We know we're safe.
Exactly. And he's gone, disappeared. Before getting back to the group, Timothy took some time to take the newly discovered mirror to an isolated area nearby and dug a large hole in the earth to place some towels. I wrapped the mirrors
In the nice
in the
towels.
fancy 300 thread count towels.
Yep.
Kept it nice and safe
Real
as
fancy.
I buried the mirror
To bury
under
the
ground
mirror that
for
just caused
safekeeping.
so much havoc
Right,
that
because
night.
naturally people look at this mirror and go, assassin mirror.
Yeah.
So I had to get it out of sight.
Correct.
We know this.
This is a bad mirror.
But before burying
Very
it,
bad mirror.
Timothy pulled out some other items he had stolen in recent days and spoke aloud, hoping to communicate with the entity of his dreams. The masked individual. Reason for Timothy.
The reason.
Sorry. Timothy stated that he accepts this path that the entity presented to him earlier, dedicating himself to the figure that he knew nothing about. There was no response.
Sounds
Timothy
like you would
finished
do.
buying the mirror, burying the mirror, and went back to Casimir's hovel. Finally getting the rest, Timothy received a dream. He could see the imagery of Wizards of Wine's winery at the end of the lengthy combat. Timothy watched in the vision as his own body was flung into the air from the thunder wave of a druid. Before falling to the mud, time slowed at the peak of the jump. Small white bead comes out of the chest. Suddenly, nearby shadows shoot up, hold it, grab it, struggle with it. The bead looked like it was trying to escape. Irina rushes towards Timothy, attempts to revivify. Meanwhile, the shadow, carrying the bead above, floats towards Timothy. And Irina's down here. Goes in, twists.
Jesus Christ.
And from the shadows form two hands that push the white bead down into Timothy. That Irina summoned, but it was, it was Timothy's power going back to him, whatever. The figure of the shadow
Shadow.
now laid over Timothy, watching his lifeless form before dissipating once Timothy came back to life.
Oh.
My life was in Mask's hands. Mask's hand.
Don't even know his name.
You can't fucking.
Mask is-
Don't even know
How
his
much
name.
respect do you have for this man?
No respect.
You get no respect.
Not one shred of it.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, no respect.
Timothy's vision changed to a fire with a threaded gray mask looming over it and looking towards Timothy, just standing there, menacingly. Timothy was unshoken, though, a true hero. The mask spoke towards him, detailing the lifestyle of a thief. Finding glory in the shadows, it heard its prayers and will guide Timothy Two Toes on this path to pursue the unseen and impact the world amongst the shadows and to die a lot. Timothy declared his devotion to the mask, and the mask accepted him as a servant of the mask, with a mask. With his dream complete, Timothy officially began a journey into the life of a religious man who gets hit a lot, and he had multi-classed into being a cleric for mask. And that's all that happened.
Smoking.
That's all that happened. Thank you so much for bearing with us.
Yeah, that's gonna sound great. God bless.
God bless us, everyone.
Mask bless you.
And that is just a little slice of paradise, baby. And we're clear.
Sorry.
We're clear. Cut.
That's a wrap.
That was so long.